So many of today's world leaders are leading from a state of stress, disconnection, and even leading from fear. And it's not because they're not capable. It's because they've been taught to lead, I dare say, with only half of themselves. If you look at what the world has been overly glorifying over the past centuries, it has been qualities in leadership such as doing, performance, pushing through, which are all incredible because they've helped us build a lot of progress and systems. However, they have also led us into having trouble with human, real, heart-to-heart connection. They've led us into creating a generation of leaders that is disconnected from creativity, from intuition, from empathy. Today, over 79% of people in the workplace are in stress and burnout. 12 billion working days are lost every year due to mental health issues and burnout, which leads companies to actually suffer costs of over $1 trillion. That is no longer a workplace issue. We can all sense it. This is a global epidemic of stress and disconnection. And when our bodies are in stress and feeling like under attack, our nervous system is in fight and flight. And so we end up taking poorer decisions. Our clarity drops, and over time, our health, our relationships, and our well-being suffer. How do I know this? Because I've lived it. In 2018, at the height of my corporate role in learning and development, I was working in Africa and leading a department, a one-person department for an organization of 3,000 people. Sure enough, I was highly qualified, multiple master's degrees, and having an international career spanning over 3 continents. However, I was living under constant stress and pressure, and constantly feeling depleted, constantly feeling like my energy was running on low. And eventually, it led to a massive burnout. That was my wake-up call. I, for the first time in my life, allowed myself to do something I had been avoiding for years, and that is listening to the intuition, to the intelligence that comes from within, the intelligence of the heart. And that led me to take radically different decisions in my life. I realized who I'm truly here to be and what I'm here to create. I asked myself the essential questions that we never have time to ask in life, going through the treadmill. And so the decisions I took led me on a beautiful path that feels highly fulfilling today. I started traveling the world. I set up my own business. I started immersing myself in both ancient and modern wisdom that is connected to energy management, the way we manage our energy, our bodies, and to feminine wisdom, the right side of our brain that is creative and reflective and counterbalances the left side of our brain that is highly analytical and logical, and you can see it as more masculine in a sense. And that led me to develop frameworks in leadership that combine the feminine and the masculine archetypes and create a virtuous life and thriving life. The world has been, for the longest of time, laying emphasis when it comes to leadership on qualities such as structure, execution, logic, control, performance, deadlines, goals, all highly essential. However, not complete on their own. Because there is an essential part of leadership that is missing and that is coming more to the forefront nowadays, and that is the feminine. And what I mean here is an energy that lives and breathes through each and every one of us. The feminine is intuitive. It is about emotional intelligence. It is about valuing well-being as much as we value performance. It is about connecting to a higher intuition, a higher wisdom. It is about valuing the greater good. It is about valuing collaboration, even more so than competition. And we see it that in all ancient cultures, the feminine energy used to be revered. used to be praised equally with the masculine. In Chinese philosophy, it is called the yin energy that counterbalances the yang, the masculine energy. In Indian traditions, it is called Shakti. Shakti is the energy of life force, the life force energy that is in constant movement, in constant change. And truly, when you look at it, when we learn to truly embrace the feminine, we become more comfortable with change and with the cycles of life. If we look at it back in history, it all started, the fact that there's this severe imbalance in between the feminine and the masculine energies in leadership, it all started thousands of years ago, pre-Roman Empire, when the systems and the structures in place at that time put control over property and lineage in the hands of men only, and women were denied any type of role in society or in the workplace or in any type of leadership or teaching roles. And they were even in this institution where we're sitting in today, they were even here granted access to teaching roles and to study only 100 years ago. So there's a lot to catch up on that we have. I believe that the future of leadership is in reintegrating fully the feminine qualities and coming in balance with the masculine. Because when more of the world leaders nowadays learn to embrace these qualities within themselves, they do not only perform better, but they ultimately start connecting to their deeper intuition, to their deeper wisdom that comes from the heart and counterbalances the brain. They start taking decisions that are more harmonious. They start caring for the greater good. And ultimately, they become more human, more collaborative. They lead businesses that are sustainable rather than extractive. Isn't that the kind of world we are all dreaming of?